Hello everyone, and welcome to one more Playing on a Budget. Today we're going to talk about the biochem, or some of you might know it as a creator. Um, I like the biochem. It is actually the most expensive class to play during WoW, in my opinion. The bombs that it's your only real attack, are not great. They're not necessarily cheap. Um, so it's not an easy one, but we'll talk about a few different options, and I actually want to tell you how you're gonna improve this build. Um, it gets better the more items and more access to good items you have. Obviously, most of the characters do, but the biochem actually becomes extremely brain dead to play. Right, you don't need to even think about what you're doing. You can pretty much even automate the gameplay for this. Um, Once you get higher gear, obviously when you're lower gear, you're gonna suffer a little bit, but the game style probably won't change. Um, so let's talk about the first of all, um, the build that I have here. Um, it's a very unique build. This is a build for people that don't have access to a lot of good items. Um, you know, this is gonna be, like I said, this is gonna be bare minimum. If you don't have at least what I have on right now, you're probably not gonna want to play biochem. Um, you can. There are vit builds, and I'll talk about that. There are actually three different builds. Early game, this one built where you don't have access to anything. A mid tier build where you start getting access to things, and then there is a vit build. I don't like the vit build for WoW. It, I know I usually say vit build. I prefer vit build in most other classes, but when it comes to biochem, I sort of go the other way. It's unique, and I'll talk about it. Let's see what I have here. The main stats here, the 99 int, the your main attack, which is the acid bomb, is based on um, it's based on it's based on your int and the opponent's vit. So the higher vit classes, those are the ones you want to go for. Um, the lower ones you don't want to mess with. Just leave it alone. It's not going to be your responsibility. Um, but yeah, high vit one's going to be your main attack. Again, if you're late build that you have a bunch of items, you have god access and all that, this changes. You can pretty much kill anything. You can kill a GR low vit character with this build, or not with this build, but with a decent build, right? With this build, you're probably not going to be killing a lot of GRs. You're not going to be killing a lot of low vit, but it is possible. Um, Dex, the trick here, there's always an argument. What's better, 150 or 149? Um, my thought process is this: if you're fighting against people that don't use hacks, 150 is better. Um, the argument might be the damage per second of 149 is better, but if they're not autopotting, a lot of the times you don't see that you're getting hit. When there's no animations um, for bombs, it's kind of hard to see where it's coming from and what you're taking damage to. And a lot of the times you will die without even seeing. And then I actually died multiple times because, you know, better players, they react to what's on the screen. And if you see a biochem just standing there, they're not really doing anything. You're not really processing that you're getting hit. Um, so yeah, 99 dex, plus 31. I get my plus 10 from food item, which unfortunately you're gonna have to do. You can use other foods like int, so it increases your damage. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm going bare minimum. Bare minimum, you're gonna need 150. I would go for 150 dex. Um, Again, this won't help against auto potters. You can still probably kill them, but anyways. And then the rest of the points I put on Agi. There are some people that want to put in strength just because Agi, 25 Agi is not going to save you. Yeah, true, but I'm also not having problems with weight. Remember, you have a cart, so you're going to be able to carry a good amount of items before coming into any issues with that. So that's the build. Let's talk about the items. Actually, let's talk about the consumables since we already started. I'm gonna be using Bless, 10 Dex, Royal Jelly, very important. Low vit builds. You want to take a lot. I only have 10, but I have Kaffir Pass, so if I see I'm using too many of them, I can adapt. I'm gonna be using Authoritative Badge more than Agi Scroll, mainly because I know I'm gonna get dispelled, and once I go into the castle, I'll probably go in with Agi, and the reason for that is when I'm fully buffed, I want to have Adrenaline Scroll. If you come in from the outside of the castle, you can have a blacksmith there. It doesn't have to be linked, just a regular blacksmith, or even a not the merch, just a blacksmith. Not, you don't need a whitesmith. Just a blacksmith, doesn't have to be linked. Adrenaline Rush will work because you're wearing a mace. But yeah, you want to go into the castle fully buffed. So if you can see my attack speed, I'm gonna use everything here. There you go. So 178. Again, not great. Not great at all. You can use a 10 Agi food to make that better. But because my attack speed is not above 186, the goal is, if you're gonna put Agi, you're gonna want to be shooting for 185, 186. You will start seeing difference at that point. Before then, I don't believe there's a lot of difference on attack speed. Some people say they do, but to be honest, at this price range for your build, it's not going to be a big deal. So I am taking Authoritative Badge to save a little bit of money on Agi Scrolls. Once I get dispelled, or once Adrenaline Rush runs out, Agi's not going to be that important anymore. So I'll be using Authoritative Badge to save money. Probably won't be using Berserk Potions if I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see what's going on in WoW. For items, I have a lot of items here. I'm not going to take them all. This is just so I can show you what you're dealing with. For this build, you have one vid. Your biggest enemy is going to be champs, obviously, and dancers, or anything that can stun. So you're talking about blacksmith, even wizards, LKs, snipers. Snipers are going to be a pain because they have low vit and they also have status. So there's a lot of things. Bards, there's a lot of things that can stun. So my priority is get that stun out of the way. This build is what I recommend to start out with. If you don't have this, at least this. Shouldn't go to WoW, at least not with this build. But parade hat with a studded golem, that's 10% of the hat, 20% resistant on stun there. Yeah, I know mids, slotted mids are a little bit higher tier than I would want for budget, but again, biochems are not cheap. They're very expensive classes, and if you're going with this build where you're going to be doing quite a lot of damage, the glass cannon build, right? The cheap glass cannon build. This is as cheap as you can go, right? So you studded golem for 20% more, so that's 50%. And then here's another heavy item. Yes, I know it's expensive. I'm sorry, and I'll show you even cheaper builds, but you won't be doing as much damage as you will with this one. The other build's not great. I don't like it. I would go with this. Try to go for this. It's a 2 decks. I actually added 2 decks to this armor. I don't need 3 decks. As you can see, I'm already 150. But 3 decks, and it doesn't have to be Evil Druid. 1 int actually doesn't do that great of an increase in the damage. As you can see, I'm not closing getting any bonuses or anything. But so the 1 int doesn't matter. It can be a mark card. It's just important that you're not freezing, right? And you're not stunning. So this armor actually gives 50% reduction. It doesn't say 50 here, but it does. It's 50%. So with that, that's 50 plus 50 on the headgears. That's 100% reduction to stun. So at 1 vit, I will not stun. Let's continue here. We got the dex on the mace, so it doesn't break. Yes, I know FCP, but in the middle of the heat, you get dispelled by a card from a bard, and then somebody's bombing you at the same time. You're gonna lose your weapon. You're gonna lose your instant cast. You're gonna lose damage, right? Nimble Gloves. These are the minimum. You can start once you go Orlean Glove in one of them. You know, to get that extra point, you can start using Bison. Once you start going to Bison territory, you're looking a little bit better on attack speed, because you're gonna do the Bison Nimble, and instead of Cranium Valk, you're gonna want to go for Thorny Valk, which will bring your attack speed about 5%, which can put it up to like 180 and start getting into the good attack speed zone. So yeah, so this is the set that I'm going to use. I'm going to talk about the second option, which is the Vit option. So if you go lower dex and lower int, you can go higher Vit. So I would recommend going at least 70 base Vit for this next build. I believe my other biochem has 76 base Vit. That puts me at like 86. So the stun actually like doesn't even animate. Like the stun is nearly like nothing. But again, at that point, I don't have instant cast, or if you sacrifice int instead of dex, you're not gonna have damage. So at that point, I'm no longer instant cast. Kind of don't like that build, unless I can get a hammer. And then if you can get a hammer, which is 40 dex, then you remove all the dex items, right, and go with more defense items, glorious rings, bison, and stuff like that. You start going the other way, right? A few options that I put here in my bar. I am gonna take my platinum shield with me just in case there's a heavy SG that I can maybe reflect. I won't be able to tank that much. I have really low HP, so if their damage is high enough for me to kill them with reflect, this might not actually work. But I'm taking it just in case. We're also taking feather beret. I'm not gonna use it probably. I'll take it, but I need that 30% stun. So depending on what's going on my screen, to be honest, I don't think a feather beret will save me. 7k HP. If you're getting hit, you're kind of in trouble. I am not gonna take this, but I brought it just to show you. This is the set that I talked about before in one of my videos, which is the Mars Glorious set, right? So you put these two, that's 20%. This one is 30%. So that's 50% already reduction of water, plus a Valk shield, that's 20%. That's 70% reduction of water. You got your boots that will give 5%, so that's 75 reduction. And then you're gonna need, instead of these two, you're gonna go with Lab. I'm sorry, no, the I believe it's the cat card. I'm not sure, but it's the 10% on the head, so that's 20% there, and you're gonna be missing 5%, which can be received from the Mega Resist. Or I'm sorry, not the Mega Resist. I think I got one here. This one, cold proof. So I don't know if cold proof is 15 or 10 resistance. If it's 10, then you're good. You're gonna be over 5, so you don't actually need this one. So you can actually put your Mars on something else. It can be on a Valk. So here, I always recommend. Yeah, I know this is a little bit of a budget, but you're gonna be a huge target. So if you can actually kill the champ that kills you, that's always a plus. So if you can, go for this. Again, if you can get a Mars card here for that set, and then you can use variant, and instead of this one, your HP is going to be a little bit higher. So I just have it here to show you the card. But yeah, so if you have a +7 Valk with Mars, that will put you at 100%, right, with the 2 headgears. And the reason why I bring this up is, if you don't have GTB and their highest damage is their wizard, you can actually become immune to that wizard, at least from the SG perspective. And then you can actually use a wind armor earth armor for everything else. And then if he's using fire, then you're going to want to use the fire armor. And the reason why the fire armor won't be a problem is because you're 100% immune to water, so that won't hurt you. So you just got to know your enemy, sort of got to adapt in that scenario, in the water reduction scenario. And then you're only going to freeze if they have a bard, and if you just focus that first, as long as you can kill that fast, you shouldn't be able to freeze. And then you can start using Ghost Ring card, and then you start defending yourself against Champ's Fist, which it might still kill you with 7k HP, but if you're sacked, you might actually save your pally with a GR. So you'll be unfrozen. Well, you won't be unfrozen. You'll be immune to Storm Gust and the single target one, Frost Drive. Okay, the next option that I have here is Stunproof Dark Basilian. This is for a different build that incorporates the Mattel armor. This one has Evo Druid. It's just I'm just showing you it. It's not something that you'd want. This is for you guys that are rich, late game. I have access to any item. This is where you want to go. This is the end game, right? So you want a Mattel plate with GR. Hopefully with 3 decks. The dex doesn't really matter. Some people actually use 3 Agi. And only because if you're late game, you got access to the hammer, which is 40. So you're already going to hit 149 or 150, depending on what you want to do. But you'd go with this set. So you'd have GR, DR, and Stunproof, 2 Diablos rings, which I don't have here. The Diablos rings, you can put hide clip, or you can do sight to help sight things out. Again, if you don't need the Zerons because you have the hammer, it's probably good not to be dependent. But yeah, as soon as you start getting this, you start being stun proof, freeze proof, even from bards, and you're going to be at 150 dex, and then all you got to focus on is attack speed. So pretty much if you want to put bison, not a bison, sorry, I guess you couldn't put a bison, but you can put a bison. There's a bison thorny combo with Megalodon card, which also gives freeze resist. I wouldn't go for that. Again, late game, you want to put GTB, so you're going to be GTB, GR, DR, or a Sarika. Dark Basilian, um, Diablos rings, hammer, and then variant, or Diablos boots. It doesn't matter at that point. I think Diablos boots nice because it gives you the one agi from the Mateer card. But at that point, you're gonna be sacked the whole entire time. Nothing can strip you. If your pally has a towel, nothing can really kill you. It's very hard to kill a setup like that. It's kind of dumb that somebody can get that well geared, right? And then you want to have a bard with a similar gear, similar set. It's kind of weird, right? Instead of the hammer, obviously, who have a guitar. But if you have that same exact item, GR, DR, Srika, GTB on the bard, and the bard, knows how to position, you can string to yourself and clear guilds with those 3 people. At that point, late game, it's extremely broken. With a Towed Pally, it's kind of hard to deal with. If you have a champ in there, just make sure to take out their champs, so the Pally doesn't even have a chance of dying, which usually he won't. But yeah, let's talk about the other build now. This is not a good build. I wouldn't suggest it, but I'm gonna say it because it is an option. If you don't have access to slotted mids, stun proof parade hats. Parade hats, I believe, can sell on Kaffir points, and it can also be crafted. I think it's a tier 3 or tier 2 hat. But if you don't have access to all this, we're gonna have to go BG KVM. Again, I would recommend BG over KVM for this one, mainly because of the different procs that you get. It won't help you too much, but you can actually add the 3 decks to it, which is nice. From the enchant, and by the way, enchant's right here. What's going on here? Oh god. With the BG set, you're gonna start wanting to go the other way, where you're not really going stun proof, because the moment you remove that 50%, you're kind of screwed. So you're gonna want to go with a 70 plus fit built for the glorious set. So you put on 2 glorious, or the 3 glorious, the 2 glorious rings. If you don't have the gloves, definitely want gloves. And then you're gonna want a Dex hat, which I have the ramen here, which is 4 Dex. Dex mid, which is the Robo Eye, and then the Dex bottom. That should still put you at 150. Or I'm sorry, it won't put you at 150, but it will get you pretty close. Which on strings can be doable. The good thing about that build, you're not going to have to worry about support. You're not going to have to worry about tanking stuff. You're pretty much going to tank most things except for fist. Some fists you might be able to tank, especially if you have a Towed Pally on you. And even if you have a Pekko Pally with you, you might be able to tank things with Glorious set, depending on how strong the fist is. But at that point, if you're wearing that, you're lowering your damage, but if you don't have help, it's actually a better option, right? I'm assuming that I'm gonna have help whenever I play this Biochem, from a Bard and from a Pally, to try to help me stay alive. This is, again, Glass Cannon build. It should kill pretty well. It should stay status free for most of the duel. So we'll see. Alright. Let's talk about last thing is the bar. The bar is very simple. You're gonna have your healing item. I'm gonna use Mistella because I want to go, no ranked, no nothing. I kept my Agi. Why is it up here? SP item. Hold on. And I'll explain this in a minute. But I have healing item. I actually have on the bar hide clip, or the hide, white chocolate, bomb, sight, cart resolution, and blast, which is magnum break. Full chemical protect, you're definitely gonna need that. Make sure you're taking these 3 items, so glittering coat and acid and grenade. You need glistening coat here for this, and that just gives you the buff that makes you not get stripped. Keeping your items will be very important, because any item that you lose, you will lose either stun proof or you're going to lose instant cast. So keeping your items is going to be very important. Second bar, I have speed pot, which is not going to be very useful. It's there to run away from champs. This build's not ready for champs. It's going to die to champs. At this point, like I said, the Valk is just so that you can take the champ with you. It's sort of a sacrifice, you know. It's like if a champ decides to fist me, and again, people start learning, like, okay, that person reflects, I'm not gonna hit them, so they might actually start leaving you alone a little bit because they gotta kill everybody else. But while they're killing everybody else, you're killing everybody else, or you're killing them. Bless, I definitely want to keep that in the bar, with the authoritative badge. Agi, I'll keep in the bar just in case I get Agi down. Authoritative badge will not remove it, so. And then these are just for convenience. I don't need them in the bar. Really, not for this build, not for the way I'm set up right now. Definitely want road jelly in case you do get status, but this is for chaos only, I believe. Chaos and curse, but curse won't actually lower your damage. It just makes you walk slower, kind of annoying. And then I keep bomb in the bar. Reason for this is this actually sights things out, so you don't actually need to switch to any of this. I did bring it just in case, but if you throw a bomb down, if something cloaked walks on top of it, it takes damage. It comes out of cloak. I have, my clip and my glove in the bar. I have my plat shield, which I probably won't use, and my Tara on the bar. And then I have the Homunculus on the bar. Unfortunately, this biochem doesn't have a really strong Homunculus, only level 55. I still need to level it to be any good, but I am gonna have him here just in case I can hit lock somebody. If I can't kill something, just let him out, see what happens. Sometimes he can get really annoying. If you've seen some of my WoW videos, I had issues with a champ when I was playing champ that I couldn't cast because of a Homunculus. So it's good to have him around. He does have the self-destruct. I'm not going to put the point because I don't know if my AI will use it by itself. But at level 99, self-destruct will be kind of fun. It can clear out an entire guild. So if it's the end of WoW, you gotta get that castle. It's a must. Then you're gonna want to use it. But yeah, I hope that helps, guys. The couple of tricks. I don't think there are a lot of tricks to biochem. Stay on strings the whole entire time. Strings is gonna be your best friend. If they have the attack speed song, it helps. But again, without adrenaline, your attack speed is gonna be kind of low because you're using a mace. But yeah. Stay away from champs. Go for high vit characters, especially if you know that they don't have the money for a GR. Believe in the spam. The damage that you cause is really high. Even if people can outbot you, they're going through a lot of potions. Bombs are not cheap. Take some extra here on your cart, right? Bombs are not cheap, and neither so they do a lot of damage. So keep bombing them. They're gonna drop. It's kind of one of the really annoying ones. It also breaks armor. It also breaks weapon. So if the person's not wearing an item that can't break or FCP, you're gonna break things. So yeah, there are people that will go um, with elemental swords for attack speed once they have attack speed. Those builds are kind of weird. I won't talk about those. There are other late game builds that do hit 190 attack speed and 149, 150 dex that are unfrozen, GTB'd. Unfrozen, I mean, it can't be frozen at all. GR'd, DR'd, Shrika'd, which becomes like the ultimate, bomber. But I'm not going to talk about that. That's late game. We're talking about budget. So I hope this helps. And go kill these people. Not real people in the game. Stop it.